Hey. All right. Hey guys, what is up? Welcome to the Sunday live stream. In today's video, I wanted to quickly give you guys a few updates on some of the activities that I'm planning for the next couple of weeks, maybe next couple of months as well. And some pretty exciting stuff for me and exploring a couple of different opportunities that I've been wanting to try out for quite some time now. And finally, with the somewhat success of the channel, I've been given some different opportunities to explore, try out, and hopefully be able to produce some better content due to some of these events. So the first event that I wanted to talk to you guys about today is this event called Conf. So it's basically the alternative conference to WWDC. So let me just bring this up right here. Maybe I'll just block my face for a little bit. And so hopefully you guys can hear me. And AltConf is, as you can kind of read on the website, it's the Alternative Developer Conference. AltConf is a free community-driven and supported event held in downtown San Jose alongside Apple's WWDC. So I don't know if a lot of you guys, if any of you guys are aware of the fact that WWDC has been moved from San Francisco Moscone Center to San Jose somewhere, I think, in the pavilion, San Jose Convention Center. And so right next to WWDC is now this alt conference that has been going on for quite a few years now. And I will be there. So for those of you guys that are living in the Bay Area or in Northern California, you want to attend AltConf and say hi and, you know, maybe take a picture with me. I'll definitely be there. So that'll be exciting. And I wanted to also maybe tell you guys what will be happening at AltConf. So I've been in talks with some of the people that are organizing AltConf, and there's a possibility, if everything works out, that I might be giving a mini talk. Yeah, so I don't want to give away too much because nothing has been totally confirmed yet. So if things work out, I might be able to say a few words about the YouTube channel. But if it doesn't work out, then I'll just, you know, be in attendance to support all of the other speakers that will go up on stage and give their wonderful talks. So it's pretty exciting. I haven't really thought about exactly what I wanted to say yet because there's just so much I want to talk about, especially over the past year and the experience of teaching all of you guys just everywhere around the world. That's one of the biggest thing about the channel. And so, for example, some people in here from Germany, Brazil, Peru, UK, just all over the globe pretty much. So if you guys wanted to attend AltConf and maybe meet me in person, I'll be there to say hi and possibly give a talk. So we'll see if that works out. Yeah. So Bobby Jap, good to see you again. Yeah. So a couple of hundred to a couple of thousand people show up to WWDC. And then because the WWDC tickets are so expensive, I can't remember how much they're going for now. I think $1,500 to $2,000 a ticket. Not everyone can afford a ticket to WWDC. So in order to accommodate for everyone that's really excited about Apple products, there's an alternate conference that's free for the community. You just have to sign up for a ticket. Yeah. So that's AltConf for June of 2017. So June 5th to June 8th, June 9th. And if I'm lucky, I'll secure that I think the half an hour session that I'll give a talk. And maybe it'll be interesting, or maybe it'll be an absolute failure, depending on how much I prepare. So the second update I wanted to give out today is regarding VidCon. And I haven't really confirmed everything I wanted to confirm yet in terms of which days I wanted to show up at VidCon, which is June 21st to June 24th. So VidCon down here, if any of you guys are interested in going to VidCon, possibly during the 21st and 22nd, I will try to be there during one of these days just to meet up with all of the YouTube creators. So let me just bring this back up. And basically VidCon is just an event held for YouTube video makers. And so you get to meet a lot of like your favorite YouTubers in Los Angeles, California. And so it's being held in Anaheim, California, which is Southern California, close to Los Angeles. And you get to meet all your stars. So I really want to go check it out because I haven't gone to very many, or if any at all, YouTube events. It'll be very interesting for me to meet other people in the field that's doing YouTube videos. I don't have a lot of contacts that are in the same field. So I'm just curious as to what their thoughts are on the whole process of just producing videos daily, weekly. So that'll be interesting for me. I just have to confirm the dates where I want to fly out. And then for those of you guys that are in Southern California, let me know if you guys are going, and say hi. So that's the second thing I wanted to talk about. Let's see, how much time do I have? 6 minutes. Okay. The next thing I will discuss here is an opportunity that has presented itself regarding kind of like the prospect of teaching abroad. And so this is definitely something that hasn't really been fully fleshed out yet, and I don't know if it's even going to work out. But someone has contacted me to do something outside of the United States for roughly 2 weeks, like 1 to 2 weeks, and I would like to test it out. It's going to be somewhere in China, so it'll be interesting to do something for 10 days, go there, see what kind of environment the students are learning in. Then I'll be doing some iOS teaching if it works out. But if it doesn't, that's okay too. So teaching abroad, that's going to be in late July to roughly August. And if it works out, I'll just take a little break from the channel and go explore what's out there outside of the United States. And then finally, let's see. Finally, the last thing I wanted to talk about is a mini vacation that I'll be taking from the channel. So I have a vacation that's set up for May 10th to about the end of May. And that means I will be kind of out and probably not have any videos to upload, especially because I'll be vacationing in China. And some of you guys might have noticed, but China has a pretty big firewall, which doesn't allow you to upload a lot of videos to video websites like YouTube. So I won't be able to really update you guys on what I'm doing when I'm there. Now I'm gonna try to pre-record some stuff, but probably won't have enough to, last the 2 weeks that I'll be out. But so that's the mini vacation that I'm gonna be taking. And the one major reason why I'm taking this vacation is because just because of my dad. He's getting a little bit older, and he recently had some surgery done. So I'm trying to get some things done with my dad, and he's getting older, so I wanted to. This is something that he's been wanting to do for a long time, and I've been just trying to make all of these confirmation dates, book the vacation, getting the visas to actually go to this other country. So getting all of that done over the past 2-3 weeks has been quite stressful, and that's one of the reasons why I haven't really been producing so many videos, because I've had to drive back home, figure out passports, and then figuring out how to do the visas properly, getting the proper documentation, and then making sure that the travel agencies are able to produce the passports that I need to actually get into the country and stay there for a little short break. Yeah, so my dad, he had glaucoma. I don't know if a lot of you guys know what glaucoma is, but during it's actually kind of funny, because there's that one video that I posted a long time ago about, I think, the top 5 languages to learn for programming. And so that video had like this loud background music to it, and everyone complains about how loud the background music is for that video. And the thing with YouTube is that you can't re-upload videos, and you can't make edits at all. So that video I actually produced when my dad had the glaucoma surgery. And so glaucoma surgery is when your eyes are experiencing, I don't know exactly what it is, but there's a pressure buildup with your eyes, and then because of the pressure buildup, you start to lose your eyesight. And then with glaucoma, they shoot lasers into your eyeballs to, I guess, pierce one of the outer layers of your eye. And then once it pierces through, the liquids that are built up behind the layers are able to kind of release themselves, and the pressure, you relieve the pressure in your eye, and you get your eyesight back somewhat. But it's also old age, so you start to lose your vision, and you start to build up, or you start to get glaucoma. So during that time, he had that surgery done. I drove all the way home, and I had that video about the top 5 languages on my computer. And then I didn't have my standard speaker set up right. I just had I had like some cheap headphones, and then I edited the video together, and I didn't realize how bad the audio was. So I uploaded that video when, I think, the next day after my dad's surgery, and then I uploaded it, and then I released it, published it, and everyone's like, "Why is the background music so loud?" So I didn't realize how bad the audio was when I did that video. But the funny thing is that video has like 100,000 views. It's one of the top ranking videos on my channel. So I don't know. It's kind of funny, but yeah. So my dad, he the past couple of months, he's been going through a lot and trying to figure out how to just kind of do the most I can to make it as easy as possible to transition into kind of older age, I guess. I don't know what you want to call it, but yeah, it's been a strange time the past couple of months, just because I don't think my dad has ever really experienced a lot of, health issues. So this is one of the first major things that I've had to kind of go through. So anyways, that's kind of why I'm taking this break, just to, old age is kind of tough. And I don't know if your dad, so my dad's around like 65 or 70, around that range. And he's constantly reminding me how he needs to go out and do more stuff. And I'm just trying to do my best to make that happen for him. Yeah, glaucoma is because sugar blood cause all the best for your dad. Yeah, I think it's just a combination of old age, and a lot of Asian people get it. And so we're kind of like Vietnamese Chinese, and so we're obviously going to get it. And I think it's hereditary, so by the time I'm 60 years old, I'll probably need that surgery done as well. Not really looking forward to it, but it's still quite a few years away from now. So yeah, I'll be taking that little mini break, and then the the course, so that Instagram course that I have online, it's almost, I wouldn't say finished, but it's reaching the point where I have most of the content produced already. And then I'll put up some bonus material at the very end. And then when I come back, I will record the bonus videos and take care of alt conf and preparing for the on-stage speech if I get it. Yeah, so a lot of you guys that are taking the Instagram course, you guys know that I've been cranking out videos every day almost, and some days I produce 2 videos a day. And it's been like producing just 1 video a day is quite a bit of work, and trying to maintain that schedule, it has been very tough. So I'm very, very excited to just take a break from everything. And I just wanted to get away from it, all of this for just a little bit. Even for like maybe 3-4 days, that would have been enough. But seeing as how I have this opportunity to take my dad on a little vacation that he hasn't really never done before in his life. You know, I guess I'll talk about my background a little bit. So my dad came from Vietnam, and then so inside of in Vietnam, it's kind of a third world country, right? And so he left Vietnam in like 1980, and you can imagine Vietnam was pretty, I guess, in terms of the conditions, wasn't all that great, right? So coming from Vietnam to California in 1980, you know, immigrants work very, very hard. And so, you know, the last 30 so years, he's been working really tough just to support the family. And a lot of Asian immigrants, they don't take vacations. They continue to work until they're pretty much until they kind of pass away. That's kind of the Asian way of doing things. Like that's their work ethic. And so my dad hasn't really taken the opportunity to, you know, relax and enjoy the better things in life. So trying to just make sure that he, you know, finally is able to take a break from everything. Yeah. Yeah. So my dad's he's doing a lot better now. He's taking his blood pressure medicine and also making sure his diet is okay. Yeah, he's starting to lose his teeth as well. So eating hard, or just eating in general, isn't all that easy. I just finally realized when you're older, like you really have to care about your diet. And then you have to think about, oh, I can't eat this during the night. Otherwise, the digestive system doesn't behave all that well. So, old age. I'm not really looking forward to it. I don't mind getting older. Like, as you can tell, you know, being old, becoming older is just another step in becoming wiser. That's how I kind of see it. And I like being older than being younger. So the only thing is I don't really look forward to being 60 and beyond. A little bit scary, but I guess we all have to face our mortality one of these days. Yeah. So hello from Vietnam. Yeah. I don't speak any Vietnamese. I speak Chinese. Aside from like Mok Hai Ba Bun, Nam Sao Bei Dam, like counting from 1 to 10. Aside from that, I don't really know how to say very many things in Vietnamese. Yeah, so hopefully you guys can take care of your parents while they're still healthy. One of the things that you always take for granted is like the health of the people around you. And once something happens, then you finally kind of gain a better perspective on the importance of just being able to function as a human being. Like, you know, whenever you get sick, you have a cold, a flu, fever, headache, and then you realize, man, this really, really sucks. And I really miss the days where I'm healthy and just being able to do things like walk and eat. So, yeah, we all have to face our mortality. Yeah. Yeah. Nice voice. So I'm recently changing the audio setup with all of the audio video equipment here. I have the same camera, which is the Panasonic GH4. And then I have this new microphone, which is a lot smaller than the previous one. So the previous one was this big giant dildo looking thing, right? This big silver bullet. And that was just gigantic. And I didn't really like how it was silver either. So this has a smaller profile and a smaller footprint in terms of being shown on the video. So I just wanted to update things, as well as I think the audio is, you know, somewhat cleaner. I don't know if it's the microphone at all, but just going through the necessary steps of minimizing the noise level so that you guys don't have to hear this background humming noise. It's been, yeah. A lot of people say that the big Blue Yeti dildo microphone is quite phallic. So let me just show you guys. So this is the big dildo that people say looks like a sex toy. Hopefully I don't get banned for saying that. But this, you kind of tell it's like really, really gigantic and long, right? Not that long is bad, but this guy definitely a lot bigger. Yeah, again, it's not the size that matters. So the difference, for those of you guys that are curious about microphones, so this is the size of that. So that's how big that is. And then in order to power this microphone, you actually need this thing called a mixer. And then the mixer, I don't know if I can even show you guys what the mixer looks like. So maybe I'll just, yeah. Oh, I have a hot tube. Yeah, I can't show you guys the mixer. It seems like, so what's on my TV? I feel like you guys know exactly what's on there. I believe it is actually My Little Pony. And I'm really surprised that you guys can tell what it is back there. Yeah, the display on the camera will go away in just a little bit. So for anyone that doesn't know what a dildo is, you can feel free to search for the different definition on Google. Yeah, the lines in the display will just go away in a little bit. It's just the way the camera works. Okay, so Victor Lee says that, I wish I could bring my dad on vacation when he was around. Kudos, go get your quality time with your dad. You can come back to the channel later. Yeah, that's really good advice. I really hope everyone out there that has the opportunity to kind of spend time with their parents, just basically spending time with your loved ones, your family, that's huge. And when you're younger, you don't realize how important that is. And then you get older and you start to see how the things that you cared about in your 20s don't matter so much anymore. And yeah, family is very important. I think you guys all realize that. Okay, so that's kind of all I wanted to mention for today. And when I get the opportunity to do the teaching abroad in China, I want to capture some of those moments there. And so I'll be there for 10 days if everything works out. And it'll be kind of an iOS teaching environment. So I'll give you guys a kind of a snapshot as to what those 10 days look like. Yeah. And okay. Yeah. And then there's finally this Facebook group that I'm still managing. Some of you guys think that I'm not looking at the Facebook group anymore, but there's a lot of posts that I haven't approved yet. And then there are a lot of member requests that look like this. So yeah, so far the group's doing pretty well. I have about 1,500 members so far. And so for those of you guys that are interested in looking through the discussion, you guys can join the group. And then, yeah. So let's see, what else do I want to show here? AltConf. Yeah. So currently I believe the tickets are sold out for AltConf, but you can join the waiting list. And I think you can just show up from the last time I heard. I don't know if they changed the rules on just randomly showing up and trying to crash the party. But the tickets are free. You can donate $300 if you wanted to do so. Yeah. So I had a question from someone about where I'm going to be in China. I think someone asked. I think Samuel Roxon. So I will be going to Shanghai, and then I will be going to Guangzhou. And I have some family in Guangzhou, which is the southern part of China. Land of the Tamada. Yeah. And then so for the AltConf conference, if I do give a speech, it'll be recorded by the AltConf team. And then I will go and try to get footage of that recording, and then I'll post it on this channel. You guys can see the talk, only if I go on stage. Haven't exactly confirmed that yet, but hopefully it'll be something that improves the channel. Trying to expose the channel to more and more people in the Silicon Valley, as well as just around the world, is something that I'm trying to do more and more this year. I have some other plans that I don't know if I want to talk about yet. Yeah, but I also want to reach out to other meetup groups and a lot of other technology groups. So I wanted to expand the channel that way as well. Yeah, so that's wow, that's been 30 minutes already. So good stuff. Let's see, what can I do for the rest of, I guess, the next 20 minutes before I bore you guys with too many details of my life. So what are you guys, what are your guys' plan for the summer? It's always interesting to hear what kind of vacation ideas people have. Yeah. All right, so we have Johan Albrechtsson. Oh man. Thanks for the donation. What spoken language do you need to learn as a dev? As a developer, you kind of have to know English, which is fortunate for me, but for those that don't understand English, it's one of those hurdles that you have to overcome. And there's a funny thing about languages, like spoken languages versus programming languages, that I found to be interesting. So I wanted to actually make a video about this, but I learned Mandarin Chinese when I was about 20 years old, and then I've been studying it for also like the last 10 years. So learning spoken languages versus learning programming languages, they have a lot of similarities to it. And I feel like learning programming languages is actually a lot easier than learning a spoken language. Like, for example, if I were to learn Spanish, French, or Japanese, being able to learn that is much, much harder than learning like JavaScript and Swift, Java. Learning how to program is super easy, I think. And then learning so once you kind of master a spoken language, you kind of see, oh, there's so many new things that I just have to accept about a language, and you kind of go through that as well as a programmer. For example, when you're switching from like Java to JavaScript, there's just a lot of different syntax and a lot of different ideas that don't make so much sense because it's just the way that JavaScript works. And if you try to apply your same Java knowledge to JavaScript, it doesn't make a lot of sense. So yeah. Oh, Huntington Beach. Yeah. When I book the VidCon tickets, I'll make sure to post it somewhere and let you guys know. So Indra, before you do the mini break, I want to let you know that because your course and videos, now I'm working as iOS developer. Your project-based videos, tutorials really helped me a lot. Wow, that's awesome. You know, I've gotten a lot of comments about or from people that have attained full-time positions as a developer just watching these videos. And so this is not the first time, but very excited to hear that you've been able to learn from these videos and then apply it to like a real world scenario. And this channel, so the main goal of the videos is to provide as little hand holding as possible. And that's something that I deliberately emphasize. And so when I provide little hand holding, it means that you guys have to take initiative and apply these concepts yourselves. So I think it's a good way for people to just learn and then figure out how to do things on their own. Yeah. Okay, so I guess I'll answer some questions here before I'll let you guys go. Am I Chinese? So my parents are Chinese and they're from Vietnam, and then I was born in California, so I think I'd consider myself somewhat Vietnamese Chinese or Chinese Vietnamese. But on my passport it says citizen of the United States. Yeah. If I have the chance to go to India and give a talk, if someone knows of a group that wants to have me talk in India and do some teaching, I'd be more than happy to go there and explore the country. I know the channel actually gets a lot of people that watch from India. And there's a group called Try Swift that is recently starting up a meetup group in India, and maybe I'll get in contact with them and try to make an appearance. Yeah. Oh, Jabin, thanks for your awesomeness as always. I'm wondering if you have any interest in making games. I think it's a great way to expand on Swift and think differently by building games. Yep. I would love to build games. The only thing about building games that I find somewhat interesting is the amount of work that you have to put into building games. Like, I really, really admire video game developers because they actually don't get paid as much as regular like application builders, but they spend so much time just getting the video game logic correct. And game logic for me is difficult. And even more difficult is graphics programming. So because of these two things, I'm not a video game developer, and it's extremely hard. So the next time you pick up a video game, or the next time you download a video game on the internet that's illegal, make sure to think about how much work the developers spent on building out those games. Very, very hard. Okay, so my two Vong friends are both Vietnamese Chinese. Also, seems common for the family name. Yep. One speaks Vietnamese though and is in the East Bay. One is in Canada, Toronto, and speaks Cantonese. Yeah. So the Vong is a Chinese name. And if you translate it into Chinese, it's actually it's Huang. And so maybe I'll just type it out. So Vong is the same as Vong, which is also the same as Huang, which is also this, and is also this here. So in the chat, I just typed out 5 different ways of spelling my last name in multiple dialects, languages, and countries. So the Vong is a Vietnamese way of spelling it. Vuong is a variation on the same thing. Huang is how you type it out in Chinese, like mainline Chinese and Taiwanese Chinese, and Wong is the Hong Kong way of spelling it. And then the last one is the actual Chinese character that represents that word. Yeah. Can you build app like Periscope yourself? Would like to. Actually, am working on a video app for a client that will eventually, something will come out of that project. Johan says, I think it's so sad to see that channels like FuzzyTube, who fakes pranks, have 9 million subs, and then we have your channel, which provides golden information, having only 50,000. Well, as some people might have already figured out, life is not a meritocracy, and a meritocracy is basically a society or a set of rules that mean whoever that tries the hardest gets the most reward. So life is not a meritocracy. That's not how it works. And actually, FuzzyTube probably puts in a lot more time in his videos for the pranks that he sets up, the videos, the editing, the cameraman, the equipment. They actually put a lot of time in their videos. So, hey, they have an audience. I'm like, there's another video that I watched the other day about how you should really never hate on other people's content or videos. And also at the same time, don't have the mindset of, if everyone watches my stuff, then I'll have the audience of just everyone. It's actually better when you have competition. And if you, like person A and person B, gains audience from both sides, then you can like cross promote each other and collaborate, and then you'll get double the audience, kind of. So when there's more people working on things that are similar, or things that like YouTube channels, it's good for everyone. So I know you've probably mentioned it before, maybe I missed it, but how do you make money these days? Are you still working somewhere? Does YouTube pay? I know you say you don't do sponsors. So the money thing, I've been pretty transparent about income, money. And so YouTube pays, I don't know, maybe like $600-$700 in ads, which is like nothing. I can barely pay for the internet bill and electricity with that, especially in San Francisco, because it's very expensive here. And the way YouTube pays is you get like $1 to $2 for every 1,000 views. The channel gets, I don't know, like 10 to 20,000 views a day. And you guys can research all this stuff on Social Blade. It's information that's open. And then, I work on contracts, consultants, and then building out the courses. So it's definitely a lot less than full-time work, but then it's a lot different because I'm building out you're building out assets versus like working full-time. That's the difference. And then I also have the opportunity to, maybe speak at large conferences and teach abroad. So that's something that working full-time will never, ever allow me to do. So, yeah. And also I've been working at this. I have a lot of savings from my past jobs because I don't really buy a whole lot of things. And that's the other thing I wanted to kind of talk about, I guess, as we're mentioning this topic here. I worked so many hours at my full-time jobs in the past, and then because I never really bought or anything, like I'm not a big spender at all. And so I was kind of finding out that I was working a little bit too hard for money that I didn't even spend. So that's kind of why I decided to quit full-time and do something on my own that I found to be more rewarding. Yeah. I wish it was a meritocracy. Yes. Yeah. Life is not a meritocracy. Just look at the presidency in United States and all the nepotism that has been going on, right? Just rich people that have kids that are also rich. That's how it works. Yeah, so let's see. We have this question that I answered in a video this week. Sometimes building these apps, I feel like I'm just copying from you. I mean, sometimes I feel like I'm learning how to do it, but why? But not why. Any tips for me? So I believe I answered this question on the channel this week. Tuesday, Wednesday, one of those days. So programming is, I guess I'll make the same comparison. Programming is learning how to cook. The same thing. You learn how to cook by actually doing it 10 to 20 times. And then the more you do it, the better you are at making that dish. So if you're cooking, like maybe you're making a cake, right? You have to follow the directions on how to make this cake. You're not going to know how to do it the very first time, right? And then the first time you do it, you look at the directions like 50,000 times, you make the cake, it turns out to be okay. The next time you don't really need the directions anymore, you can make the cake, it's even better. Then the next final time, you just make the cake without even looking at the directions, and it turns out to be the best cake you've ever made. So programming is about doing it 10, 20 times. That's the only way I can describe it to you. And anyone that's done professional programming will tell you the same thing. Programming is something that you do for hours and hours and hours, more than 8 hours a day. Like when I was younger, when I was in my 20s, that seems like a long time ago, I used to program like 14, 15 hours a day. Really like 15 hours a day, just wake up, work on the project that I was building out, just personal projects. And then, so waking up at 9 o'clock, working on the project, having lunch, dinner, and continually working on the project. And then that's like 15 hours. So if you're not spending at least 8 hours a day on programming, you'll find that it's a slow process. Yeah. So the other thing I want to compare it to is like learning how to play an instrument. You can't just pick up a guitar or pick up a piano and start playing it expecting that you're going to be good at it. It takes days, weeks, months, and just so much time to get good at something. Yeah. So almost 50,000. Yeah, I wanted to do a special 50,000 subscriber video, but just preparing all this stuff for the vacation hasn't really given me time to do it. Yeah, when I come back, I will make a video. Yeah. So I don't want to make any more promises in this channel because I feel like I'm constantly agreeing to things that I can't deliver. Can you make a video on game of chats pop-up notifications? Yeah, when I come back, I want to finally answer the push notification questions. Snapchat CEO say India is a poor country, so what do you think about India? I don't know if I want to dive into this hot political topic here. So if you look at India, I think in terms of GDP, relative to other countries, I think it is a poor country, GDP wise. And if you look at the culture, it's a rich culture. There's a lot of history to the Indian culture. And the people, I think, in general, have a greater appreciation for what's there in the country. But you definitely see a lot of disparity between people that have money versus people that don't. I guess that's all I'm going to say about that. Victor Lee, Huang Shifu. It is a better idea to build the design for your controller install using this instead of zip, or is it just faster? I see that you create the design in the Facebook example using code. Oh man, it seems like the storyboard question has finally shown itself in today's live stream. So storyboard versus coding. I think every week I try to make a simpler answer to this question. How else can I put it? Coding's fun. If you don't like to code, then you're not going to like you're going to like the storyboard more if you like to code. That's just how it'll work for you. And then once you realize that you need something more sophisticated, you have to part ways with the storyboard. You have to kind of just put it aside, and then you'll have to code your views. And then once you see the difference between how to do things, you'll figure out how to use both. That's just how it is. Savings is good. Material things don't really have necessity. And I personally save for travel rather than go out at night. Travel is amazing, and you remember it after you're finished. Yeah. You know, you're right. All those nights that I've spent going to the clubs, just listening to music that's way too loud, ordering drinks for people that I don't even know, just spending money on just getting into the club, and then the kind of random, strange midnight dinners that you have. It's very strange. You actually, yeah, you're right. You don't remember that at all. And then the last couple of vacations that I've taken, you know, I have a lot of photos, actually a lot of like memories from just the difficulties it is to navigate a country by yourself. So I actually like to travel by myself, and doing everything on your own. Very interesting and very, very memorable. From what age are you programming, Johan? I think Johan's like 10. Are you 10? And yes, working just to live is not worth it. If you make a ton of money but can't spend it on family or travel or enjoyment, it is not living. Fully agree. Yeah, I'm single. How are your app getting to the App Store? Yeah, that's another project that I wanted to work on. I really want to have a let's build that app. Well, that's kind of redundant. I want to have my own app on the App Store someday. I think wealth is very important, because if your wife wants something and you do not, do this, it is very bad. With wealth, you can buy happiness. Yeah, that's strange logic. And then because you spend your entire life buying things for your wife, you don't have the time to spend with her. So, strange. Strange how human beings work. Oh man, so a lot of questions here. Which MacBook do you recommend for iOS development? Yeah, the 2016 one is definitely overpriced. I mean, watch the video that I have on the channel about the equipment that I use. I have a 2013 laptop. If you can find a refurbished one, I'd say go for that. How would you recommend to teach someone? Okay, how much old are you? I'm quite old, early 30s. How do you get your app into the App Store? By publishing it. I like that answer. Did you skip my question by accident? Probably. Sorry, I've been gone for a bit. Did you decide if you're going to do some Kotlin videos to Kotlin Android videos? Oh man, I think I definitely need someone else to be making videos with me. Yeah. I think after a while, because the channel gets so many different requests, sometimes you feel like you don't really know how to prioritize the next set of videos to make. I'm kind of feeling that way right now. The one thing I will say is that I was doing some research on Swift server-side tutorials and trying to build out a set of APIs using Perfect and Vapor. Just trying to figure out how these Swift frameworks work. And I have to say that I really did not like programming in Swift to build out a server. Yeah, I found myself really just, I physically hated typing in Swift actually when I was building out the servers. So I'm not sure if I will actually make the Swift server-side videos because I can't really bring myself to code in Swift for the server. So just typing out Swift, it feels so heavy. And if you've ever created a server using like Ruby, PHP, Node with JavaScript, or all these other more common server-side languages, you know how fast it is to build out those backends. And the way that Swift, these perfect Vapor frameworks, I don't know, it just took way too long to do something very simple. Yeah, it feels like I went back into Java. Yeah, using the Perfect and Vapor frameworks, I feel like I was back in Java. And there's a reason why I don't do Java anymore. Okay. Oh. Yeah. DC out. I like your channel. Thanks for putting out all the content there. Yeah, I think the channel has close to about 200 videos, and now we're at 50,000 subscribers pretty soon. So exciting. Game development. Unfortunately, I don't have a lot of experience in game development, and that's the other thing. I don't really like doing tutorials on things that I don't know, because I guess one, I don't want to present myself as someone that's an expert at something that I'm not. And also, there's just so many things about frameworks and things that I don't know that if I do something wrong, I don't want to show you guys the wrong way of doing things. Yeah. So Madeline asks, is Firebase better for a smartphone? I guess I'll just reiterate or reword this question, whether or not Firebase is better than a custom backend. So building out a custom API, I mentioned this before, it's not a trivial task. It takes another engineer to maintain a server, maintain the custom API. If you don't want to deal with hiring another engineer, you probably just want to stick with Firebase for now. I think you put it better last stream. You are getting into programming to use the storyboard to avoid programming. Totally makes sense. Yeah. Oh, the 80-20 rule. What I've learned from building apps is to release an app as soon as possible instead of trying to improve the app forever. Yep. That is exactly the rule I follow as well. When I'm building out an app for like a consultant company or a full-time gig, every time we have to release something, we just release it. We don't wait. You just release it, and then you fix the issues later. It's not the end of the world that you have a bug, as long as people can log in, buy things, and you keep your customers happy. That's all that matters. But again, because we had a group of experienced people, we were able to do it really, really quickly, like making releases, hitting the publish button, and then continuing the cycle. Because we've all had experience doing it before, we were really comfortable with making the changes, adding in new features, and then just compiling the build. Yeah. I'm teaming up with some friends to start a small app development company. Do you have any advice? You gotta make sure you have the right people on your team. Not everyone has the same type of commitment to a project, and then other people will start to disappear when other priorities come up. So you just have to make sure you're with the right team. Wow, a lot of questions. Johan's 14 now, and I started when I was 12, released my first app at 13. Yeah, when I was 13, I was still playing video games. Oh, geofencing. Maybe. I mean, Firebase has a really, really good GeoFire SDK that you can use for geofencing. Oh, Anoop Harbaid, I will be at Conf. Excited to meet you there. Yep. What to expect for Android? I don't know yet. Security. I'm not an expert in security, so I don't know exactly if I can do that video. Yeah. Yeah, so most likely I will do a simple tutorial on Node.js, and then I might put up a separate course on the website. And the thing with Node.js is that when you're programming in JavaScript, you can just type out the code and you don't need a whole lot of like error checking. Everything just works. It's super simple. Okay, so we have, thank you so much. Your Game of Chats tutorial helped me a lot in developing and using Firebase, and I'm eagerly waiting for a continuation of Game of Chats. Well, thank you for, I guess, enjoying the videos. Unfortunately, the Game of Chats series has ended. Unlike the series, the Game of Chats has ended. If you want to learn more about Firebase, there's the lessons on the Instagram course on the website, which you can purchase and learn some more if you want to do so. There's already a lot of students enrolled in that course, and you can look at the comments to see everyone's experience, which is it's all been positive from what I can tell. Vapor is actually quite easy to use. I'm wondering. I think the difficulties I had with Vapor is that when I opened the Xcode project for the first time, I saw that there were like 50 dependencies, and it felt like Rails to me, where there's just a ton of stuff in there that I don't really need. So that's the problem with Vapor. Swift on server side with Chris Bailey, software engineer, daily podcast is really insightful. Yeah. How much YouTube is paying you? Well, you can just simply do a Google search and you'll figure this out. That's one thing that I find funny about saying that. When people ask a question and then I tell them just Google search, it feels like I'm being mean. But it's not me trying to it sounds condescending when I say just Google it, but it's just a typical response that I give to people, like just Google stuff. Okay, 16 years old from Syria. I still live here. I have a dream on studying and mastering astronomy and becoming a YouTube gaming person. Not a normal one though. What do you recommend for me? Well, just do whatever you want to do that makes you happy, and then everything else will fall into place when you ultimately find what makes you happy. What mic am I using? So this is a Rode NT1 microphone. If you guys are ever interested in how everything works here, this microphone here is plugged into this thing called a mixer. And then the mixer is going through some software program called Adobe Audition. And then there is some EQ adjustments to the audio. And then all that gets outputted into this software program called OBS, which is Open Broadcasting Software. And then that software streams the video and audio mixed into the YouTube world. And this is how you're getting the stream and the audio. So there's like 10 different things that have to work out perfectly before the video and the audio works out this way. Yeah. Gaming is a whole other science and difficulty. It involves different libraries and run loop to learn about. Yeah, I watch videos and it seems not easy but solid once you get past the learning curve. Yeah. Huge learning curve to gaming. Yeah. Oh, awesome. Max B2K, I'm headed to SF on June 3rd. Hope to see you here at AltConf. Yeah. And so if I'm not able to give my talk at AltConf, I'll meet you guys there somewhere. I'll tell you guys where I'll be when I'm at the conference. There's gonna be so many people at AltConf that it'll be hard to just be somewhere and meet people. But if you see me, definitely say hi. Would you recommend the Instagram course if you're not a beginner in Swift? So if you are a beginner, I would maybe recommend the Instagram course. But if you're not a beginner, it'll be really good for you to learn how everything works. So if you really want to learn how to build a pretty complicated and sophisticated application, then the Instagram course will be the right course for you. Yeah, next video, next project. When I come back later in May, the requirement of teachers should be much higher, and the respect to at least middle school teachers. Yeah. Node.js has a ton of libraries. Yep. Where should I start in Swift? You probably get this quite a bit, but I am new. Should I purchase the Instagram course or start with the YouTube course series? So because I think I prefer people to watch the YouTube videos first And then if you like the content, then you can move on to the Instagram course. If you don't find yourself learning from the YouTube videos, then it might not be the best thing to do to take the course. So this is just me being honest and hoping that you don't, waste your money. So yeah, so a lot of people have already purchased the Instagram course, and I'm going to assume that most people have learned a lot from it. And it's 40 videos, it's $50. It's not the end of the world if you don't like it. But yeah. Okay, so it seems like I reached the end of the chat here. And now I'm going to let everyone go because the questions have kind of died down. So thank you everyone for joining me today in this live stream. And I will be back perhaps later this month. Spotify course, I would buy it. I think sometime in June, maybe July, I'll have a new course up. Yeah. Do more live streams. Sometimes the live streams, they become too long. Anything after an hour, I think people just get tired. I get tired. Yeah. So thank you everyone, and I'll try to enjoy my break, and I'll come back fully recharged to make more lessons. And we'll see what else we'll do for the second half of 2017. And I'll see you maybe next week. I think I'll have a video for you guys before I leave, and then I'll try to upload videos when I'm in China. I think if I find a way to use a VPN to get through the Great Firewall of China, then I'll find a way to upload something. Live streaming marathons anytime soon. Maybe I'll do a live streaming marathon. That's kind of crazy. I think by the end of the day, I'll just have like 20 people or maybe like 5 people in the live stream. Yeah. So Vignesh says the iOS community mostly uses storyboards. If you want to Google out for programmatic approach, I find difficulties in finding solutions. Your thoughts? Well, what do I want to say about this? What do I want to say about this? The thing you'll find, or here's kind of my understanding of the solutions you'll find on Google. And how can I say this without bashing people on the internet? The people that are making these tutorials using storyboards, for the most part, I can tell you that not a lot of them have actually built out like full size applications. And you can kind of tell this by just how basic the storyboard tutorial blog post is. And when you're building out something simple, it's very easy to use a storyboard. And the thing about programmatic approach is that a lot of professionals use the programmatic approach because it's code. And professionals code for many hours a day. So the thing is that professionals don't have the time to do blog posts. And because of that, you won't find a lot of solutions from professional programmers that do this for 10 hours a day. So that's one of the reasons why you won't find a lot of solutions using storyboards. and it's only like kind of like the beginners that are just figuring out how iOS works, then they have the time to make blog posts about it. And so that's the world that we live in terms of iOS development. If you want to find the Instagram course, it's just in the it's in the description today. So yeah, I will say goodbye. Thanks, Johan, for the 20 kroners. I'm not sure what a DKK is. And I'll see you guys next time. Hello, Bruce. Yeah. No, I'm not going away forever. I'll be back. Yeah. So, yeah. Okay. Bye, guys. I'm trying to get out of here before I answer more questions. I'll see you guys next time.